Welcome to a guide to new-ish mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday the 4th of June and this is kind of a mod mop-up. Last week we had no mods all up till Friday, and then we had a mod map come out and Pacific Northwest. There were a couple of mods and I was going away for the weekend, which caused me a few problems because I struggled then to get the mod review done. Then last night mods dropped yesterday afternoon and I was going out yesterday afternoon, so I didn't get a chance to do the mod review. So I'm doing it now and I'm mopping up a few of the mods from last week that I missed. So we're going to start off down the front here with the Flegel large capacity shovels. These are by Maxter. This comes in a little pack and I need your help with this one because this is a peculiar one. It's got me a little bit baffled. It's probably going to be something incredibly obvious, but if we go into the main store and go to front loader attachments, we come to the Flegel large capacity shovels. We start off with 1250 litres, 1550 litres, 1850 litres and then 2150 litres. Each of these are 3 slots for the first one, then again subsequent ones the slot count will drop. So it says large capacity shovels. I suppose when we think of large capacity we're thinking of the big wheel loader ones, 6,000 litre, and then the universal lightweight bucket by Toxicon, which is like used to be like 11,000 litres, which is now down to, that's about 7 as well, isn't it now? So not huge size buckets, but if you're on a smaller farm they are fairly big buckets. But with that comes these two. We've got the Lizard Make, I think it's Make 2.0 and 3.0. These are also 3 slots each, and these are designed for, it does say down the bottom there, with this machine you can restore the initial ground state, delete fields. This is on like courtyards, ground, feed trough areas where it will normally get rid of tyre tracks. It will take feed from a food area, so it's got like brushes on it and it's supposed to be so that, you know, when you go across it just deletes those, it gets rid of them. Kind of an easier way of cleaning up. It will also take grass back to its original state and those types of things. Now here's where I'm stuck with these. If we look on this one here, the 3 metre one, and I zoom in on that, that definitely says there with the little puzzle piece FZ30 FZ60. Right, that's the front loader attachers. So here I'm in my Fent. I've got an FZ30, I've tried it with an FZ60, I've tried it with a modded one, and here's the thing. I come up to it, and it's not giving me any option to hook up. And when you look at the actual attachment on the front of this brush, weirdly, I mean, that's odd in itself. The fact that I can pick it up, maybe you're supposed to just use it by hand, I don't know, it seems a bit odd. Surely you can't connect it manually. Maybe you can just clean the area yourself, just use it as a big, you know. It's very peculiar and I am puzzled. So I suppose maybe you could, you know, just do it by hand. A big sweeping brush. It won't let me hook up to it. But when you look at the front loader attacher and look at that attacher, now am I missing something really, really obvious? I've tried it with a front loader, couldn't get a front loader attacher to work on it either. I then looked in the Modhub and thought, oh, maybe I've missed something. Does it come with an attacher or something? Doesn't say it does, and it does say on both of those FZ30, FZ60. So I don't know. I'm a little bit stumped on that. I kind of resisted the temptation to go and watch anyone else's mod review because obviously this came out on Friday. Or no, actually it might have been before Friday. Can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, yeah, puzzled by that. So if anyone knows, please drop it in the comments. Let me know how I actually hook that one up. Bit of a peculiar one, if you ask me. Interesting, you can pick it up though. That's a bit odd. I wonder if now I've picked up it will let me... Nope, still won't. So yeah, don't know. That one's got me stumped. Now that said, with that mod, if you can get it to work, you do have some options. You can change the main colour to any one of these, and that's basically the brushes. So you can give yourself some like grey looking brushes, or you know, any colour you want on that palette. But yeah, I mean the standard colour looks okay, doesn't it? It stands out, you can see it fine. So anyway, that's by Maxter. Next up, what was, I'm trying to think, try and do this in some kind of order. Right, we had the base transceiver station came out. I think this was Friday's mod. This is a placeable money maker, like solar panels, like there's the windmill now you can buy, which is extortionately expensive. So you place this, and every hour it will give you money. Now the mod itself is incredibly neat and tidy, very nice. I like the little solar panels here, and then you've got the base station tower with a small little cabin next to it. Lizard telecoms like that, nice little feature. So yeah, you know, love it or hate it. Not a lot of people like placeable mods that make you money. They don't think it's right or fair, but you know, it is what it is. This will pay you out 500 per hour on easy, 380 per hour on normal, 250 per hour on easy on hard. It's 9 slots to place, and it's by B101 UK. We find it under placeables and in miscellaneous. Just there, the Lizard Telecoms base transceiver station, 100,000. Again, it's one of those ones, like with any of these placeables, 100,000 to buy, you place it and it will make you on easy 500 an hour. So then you've got to start thinking about how many game days will that take to recover that money. So would you be better off using 100,000 on something else? But at the end of the day, as a placeable goes, and one to tick away in the background to make you a bit of money. If you're not building your farm up from scratch, if you've just used a load of the government subsidies, you've been subsidised, and you decide you're going to place a couple, it's not always nice to have a mod like that ticking away in the background that's going to generate you a bit of income every hour or so. But there you go, that's the base transceiver station. I'll say it's a nice mod, that I like it. It's something a bit different as well, rather than just a solar panel and that kind of thing. So yeah, pretty cool. Now what should we look at next? Over the back we've got the Terra Vitesse. This is a loading wagon, and if I remember correctly, which I don't often, this was on FS17. It might have been on 15, probably even before that. And this has been converted over, as far as I'm aware, by it might be Jeff D, but GEFD 25. It's 4 slots and it's a 50,000 litre capacity. It's a loading wagon. It does exactly what a loading wagon should do. Again, very nice, neat, tidy mod. Now the fact that it's only 4 slots is pretty good. For the size, for a 50,000 litre capacity. If we go into the menu and we'll have a look under loading wagons, and we go all the way up to find it in the Modhub. Now 131,000, which is pretty good. It places it between the Fendt Tego XR and the Krone ZX560GD for capacity and also price. That's 124,000, that's 165. Bearing in mind it's a 50,000 litre capacity for 131, it's not too bad at all. But when you look at the slot counts of these other ones, the Tego's not too bad at 6. The Krone, 25 slots, and then you've got 15 when you get up to the big one. Only 4 slots for the original one. I know it says 1 on there now, because I've already got one, so the slot count drops. But 4 slots initially, that's not too bad at all. We've got options for Trelleborgs or Michelins. To be fair though, if you're not too bothered, unless you're a Michelin fan or work for the factory or something like that, I don't know. There's no option for like wide tyres or anything like that. So if you've got Trelleborgs as standard, that's fine. To put the Michelins on, 3,250. I suppose that's no different to any of the tyre options. If you do to certain tyre options and it charges you more money, you then start thinking, well, is it actually in game going to make me any, like, will it have any impact if I have different tyre choices? Probably not. It's more aesthetic, really. But there you go. That's the Terra Vitesse CFS 5201DO, 50,000 litre capacity. Very nice. Does what a loading wagon does. There is some argument at the moment, let's say argument, that loading wagons, now that the milling machine mods came out and you can use that on the front with a trailer on the back, it kind of almost makes these redundant. Unless you're going to go and you want to do it absolutely how it's supposed to be done. then of course, you know, it's always nice to have additions to the game and new mods put in. So yeah, like that one. Very nice indeed. Moving onwards, what shall I look at next? The Karcher washhouse. It's an interesting one. This is by Team-Rheinlandfalz and Zero Ace. This is 10 slots to place, which isn't horrendous. You get a very, very wide base on this. Huge concrete base. That said, the Doghouse we're going to have a look at in a minute, I managed to place on the base itself. But it does take up quite a bit of room, this concrete base. I think that's to kind of allow for the fact there's going to be vehicles coming across in front and that kind of thing. Now, as far as I'm aware, the door doesn't open. And there's a lovely lady here with all her equipment. And I think the pressure washer is just there. There we go. So it takes it off the wall out of its holder. It does its jet washing as usual. Again, it's another option for jet washing depending on what map you're doing, if you're building your farm up, if this fits in with the style of things you're doing. There are cheaper alternatives, obviously. This is also in placeables under miscellaneous. This was, oh, I did say it was 10 slots already. 55,000, which puts it on the kind of more pricey end of things. I suppose that's the only downside to it. Whoa. And it's a fair size as well. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. But you see what I mean about the base when I place it. Now, weirdly, you don't get the whole thing's not green. Inside, you've got those little bits and bobs there that are green. So if it won't let you place it, there'll be the things that will go yellow, red, orange, whatever you call it, to stop you. If they're green inside there, then you're fine to place it. But like I say, it's a fairly big footprint. So yeah, there, Karcher washhouse. 55 grand. It's a nice mod. I can't get over the size of the building. That's a big building. When you think realistically, that's the only bit you need is the jet wash bit there. But it's nice having helpful lady there. I think she'll come and chamois down your car or vehicle or tractor or combine. That might take a while, chamoising down a combine. But anyway, there you go. That's the Karcher washhouse. Moving onwards, we have got the FS09 Doghouse. Now this is a nice, interesting one. This is designed to fit, I think, the Giants Island map. This is by Fullpowershift, and it says it on the Modhub. It's only 2 slots. What I like about this is the price, because realistically, if you're going to have a dog in game, and you want to have a doghouse, and you know, does it need to be expensive and over the top and that kind of, you know, maybe not, just a doghouse. But again, it's another option for a doghouse. This is under animal pens, isn't it? Yeah. So the standard lizard doghouse in game is 2,501 slot. If I scroll right across the other end, we've got the FS09 Doghouse, which is only 1,000. So it's cheaper. It is 2 slots. I know it says 1, but again, I've already got one in game. You know, it's not like it's 50 quid. You know, if it was really, really cheap, well, they'd have that every single time. The difference between the two isn't such a huge amount that's going to stop you buying the lizard, like the in-game one. But again, it's a nice alternative. Looks a bit different. Does exactly what it should do. If you want to feed L3 in the bowl, and the dog should come back. There we go. There's still that thing with the dog going through them, and you get that on the standard one. There you go. So that's the FS09 Doghouse by Fullpowershift. Very happy little dog there. Nice. Okay. What have we got next? Let's have a look around the front. We've got 3 mods down the front here. I think I'll start with the Gogobear Exacta EL pack. This is a solid fertilizer spreader. Probably spreader is the better way to put it. It's a nice tidy mod, this one. It's not very big, but price again isn't too bad at all. We will find this under fertilizing technology, which is down here. So if we look at the first one, I mean, to be fair, its capacities really is what you're going to be looking at too. If it's just starting off, 20 grand on a fertilizer spreader, can be quite pricey, and they kind of go up from there. We had the Agro 30 Max, which is only £9. We've got the ZAU I've been using on Lipinki, which is only 11 grand, which is pretty good. 1,800 litre capacity. So we go across to this one. The exact AL is only 4,000, so it's really, really cheap. You absolutely can't take that away from it. But the maximum capacity is 1,000 litres, so it's quite a small capacity on that. So again, starting out 15-metre spread, not too bad, and it will do fertiliser and lime. Some of them don't; they will only do fertiliser. The fact it does fertiliser and lime, bit of a bonus. I like that. And there are a few options available. We can change our main colour, and that's the top section from the red to a galvanised on the top there, which is quite nice. Don't want to get too far. Then we've got 700 litre capacity, which is what it comes standard, or 1,000 litre capacity, which again, I suppose it gives you the maximum size on the actual store page. So that adds on a little bit more. That's another 1,500 if you want the 1,000 litre capacity. And then if we go across, we can have it with a cover or not, depending on your preference. So there's a few different options on it. Not a huge array, but you know, it's a small fertilizer spreader, nice and cheap. Did I say what slot count was on that? That's 9 slots though. I suppose that's the only downside, but then you've got an opening cover, you've got all the spinning, moving bits beneath, and it's quite a detailed mod. There's a lot of detail going on underneath. And that was by, MefiuFS. Sorry, I forgot to say that. MefiuFS. Now, what we'll do, let's grab the tractor. Simply because I wanted to show you what I meant. You look underneath, all the working parts on there. You've got lights on it as well, which I quite like, and indicators, which make it rather handy. So cover open, takes a little while, don't panic when you first press the button, nothing happens, but it does do it. It closes far quicker, press it again, and there's a bit of a delay, but there you go. I like that. It's not a bad size. Drop that down there. Cool. Next up on our list, or my list, is this right here. This is the RAU Unimat 660. This is by TurboGamer, and it's 5 slots. This is a cultivator, and before you say no, it's not a 3-metre cultivator, it's a larger one. I always prefer the larger cultivators. It's a nice design, an interesting one, this as well. That's another thing I like about it, because it's a little bit different to sort of standard ones. It doesn't just fold up in like a butterfly motion either. Nice, neat, tidy mod. Lots of moving parts. Very neat, very nice. In store, it's under cultivators, not disc arrows or anything like that. There's no discs on it. So we scroll across. There we go. 12,000 to buy, which isn't too bad at all, and it's got a 6.6 metre spread, hence the Unimat 660. There are no options available. It is what it is. You get what you get. It does suggest having a weight on the front, because obviously this is a 3-point link mounted cultivator, which can make it, you know, a bit kind of back heavy on the tractor, depending on what tractor you're using. Obviously the larger the tractor and that kind of thing, generally speaking, it's not too bad at all. Not too pricey for the width you get, and I like that. I love the fact you've got that movement as you're moving them. Those rollers on the back are all moving fairly independently and then folding out. This reminds me of one of the weeders. That's nice, that. I like it. Nice, compact, tidy unit. Like I say, because it's 3-point link mounted on the back, all that weight is over that back axle, so yeah, having a front weight or something on there might be quite handy. It's not so overly heavy that it will tip everything up, but you know, it certainly wouldn't hurt, so let's put it that way. Right, very nice indeed, very smooth animation. Okay, our last mod for this mod mop-up is the Kuhn GA 8521, 8521, 8521, however you want to say it. This is a windrower. As far as I recall, again, this was standard in game. Used to be standard in game, because I'm pretty sure this was my kind of go-to when I was using the triple mower setup on the front of a tractor. I would put this on the back because the width worked out almost exactly the same width as the butterfly mower on a triple mower setup. So it's back in game. This is by Fabian and Gogobear. It's 5 slots. Again, another nice, tidy, neat mod. There's a couple of options on this, hence the 5 slots. Not bad at all. It's on the small, say the slightly smaller end of your windrowers, as you would expect, because it's only 2 discs rather than 4 or anything bigger than that. So in game at the moment, then we've got the GA9531, and that's a 9.3 meter, which puts it a little bit wider than one we used to have, I'm pretty sure. Then we've got the Lady Hibiscus and a couple of others, and then we've got the modded Fella Duras. Well, we're right at the end here. 17,000, which again, not too pricey, 8.2 meter width on it. Options available. We've got design colour. Now we can change the design colour. That is actually the tines on the discs for actually doing the windrowing itself. So at the moment they're on red. If I change them to white, they kind of stand out a little bit more. Our main colour is actually the box underneath, which I think, is that where your hydraulic lines go in? Could be electrical box, battery box. Underneath there, if I change that back to red, it goes back to red. That's your main colour. Then you've got design 1 and design 2 puts that board in the centre section, paddle board. That doesn't move, that I have figured out. When it opens out, that just stays where it is. Yeah, those are your options available. I've got a funny feeling I got that completely wrong with that box underneath there. It's probably something else entirely. Anyway, this is another one which has got nice smooth animation. I say it's not a huge one, not at all, you know, by the sort of the bigger standards. I just keep thinking back to FS15, the Krona Swadro, the big, I mean, it was massive, that thing. There you go. Nice animations. Lift that up. Fold it up. And there you go. That's it. That's the last of our mods in our mod mop-up. That was the Kuhn GA8521 by Fabian and Gogobear. Again, I've probably missed something really important. I've probably missed a mod that's really important. But going back to the start, if anyone knows how to hook up those brushes, please let me know, because that's got me absolutely baffled. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course, please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.